The flight from New York to San Francisco carried a mix of business travelers, vacationers, and a few lone passengers like 10-year-old Lily, traveling alone to visit her mother. Seated nearby was Jonathan Reed, a 40-year-old CEO known for his demanding schedule and relentless dedication. As the plane leveled at cruising altitude, Jonathan suddenly gripped his chest and slumped forward, gasping. Panic rippled through the cabin, and flight attendants rushed to his side, but none seemed prepared for a serious medical emergency. Mark Evans, a 44-year-old single father, immediately stood up. Calm and composed, he quickly assessed the situation. With a background in emergency response, he had trained for moments just like this. He instructed the crew to retrieve the first aid kit, then positioned Jonathan safely and began checking his pulse and airway. Passengers watched tensely as Mark's methodical approach brought a sense of order amid chaos. Lily's eyes widened in fear and awe. She had never seen someone struggle to survive like this, yet the presence of Mark gave her reassurance she hadn't expected. Minutes felt endless until Jonathan's breathing steadied slightly. The pilot announced they would divert to Chicago for an emergency landing. Mark's quick, decisive actions had stabilized Jonathan long enough to reach help, and Lily realized that this stranger had just changed the course of her day, and possibly her life. The plane touched down safely in Chicago, where paramedics quickly took Jonathan into their care. The passengers, still shaken, disembarked slowly, and Lily clutched Mark's hand, her small grip a mixture of relief and lingering fear. She had never been alone in a crisis before, and the experience had left her shaken, yet grateful. Mark's calm presence had not only helped save Jonathan's life but had also given her a sense of safety she hadn't realized she needed. As the chaos of the terminal swirled around them, Mark learned more about Lily's situation. She was traveling alone due to a complicated custody arrangement, and her mother's work delay meant she had been navigating the flight without familiar support. Mark, reflecting on his own experiences raising his daughter as a single parent, understood the weight of responsibility that even a young child could feel in such moments. He offered to stay with her until her mother arrived, knowing that having a supportive adult nearby could make all the difference. Over coffee in the airport lounge, Lily spoke quietly about her fears and her excitement about visiting her mother. Mark listened attentively, offering reassurance and gentle guidance. The connection between them grew naturally, built on empathy, trust, and the shared understanding of facing life's unexpected challenges. By the time Lily's mother arrived at the airport, the tension of the morning had eased. She found her daughter sitting comfortably beside Mark, laughing quietly as he explained some of the safety procedures of the flight in a calm, reassuring way. The gratitude in her mother's eyes was obvious, but so was the curiosity. How had this stranger handled a serious medical emergency with such competence and composure? Mark, ever humble, brushed off the praise. "I just stayed calm and did what needed to be done. Kids notice panic more than they notice skill," he said gently. Lily clung to him briefly, feeling the safety and confidence that had been missing during the flight. The bond they had formed in those tense moments was already remarkable, rooted in trust and a shared sense of responsibility. In the following weeks, Mark kept in touch with Lily, checking in on her schoolwork and her emotional well-being. He offered guidance and advice when she faced challenges, sometimes even accompanying her on weekend visits when her mother's schedule conflicted. Lily's confidence grew steadily, and she began to trust herself in situations that would have terrified her before. Jonathan Reed, the CEO, also reached out personally, expressing his gratitude and admiration. While he offered Mark professional opportunities, Mark declined, focusing instead on the meaningful connection he had forged with Lily and the chance to positively influence her life. Months passed, and Lily began to flourish, both academically and emotionally. The experience on the flight had become a turning point in her life, shaping her resilience and self-confidence. Mark's guidance and support had taught her practical skills, problem solving, and the importance of remaining calm under pressure. With his encouragement, she approached challenges with a newfound sense of independence and courage. Jonathan Reed, fully recovered, occasionally sent notes to Lily, acknowledging the event's lasting impact on both their lives. His gratitude extended beyond simple thanks. He recognized that the ordeal had helped Lily grow in ways no one could have anticipated. Mark's daughter, Emma, also took pride in her father, seeing him as a role model of bravery, responsibility, and empathy. The incident reinforced values Mark had always tried to instill: courage, composure, and the importance of helping others in need. For Lily, the bond with Mark became a lasting source of comfort and inspiration. She learned that guidance and mentorship could come from unexpected places and that even a single act of help could ripple through one's life in profound ways. Years later, she would recall that flight not as a moment of fear, but as the day her life subtly shifted, when courage met care, and a single father's decisive actions shaped her future forever.